Hi out there, welcome to another ioPSYte Business Highlight. Today I have the pleasure of having Stacy Garman on. She is the CEO of the Castle Rock Chamber of Commerce in Castle Rock, Colorado. Stacy, it's such a pleasure to have you on this morning. Thank you for taking your valuable time for this interview and just to share out there in the business community what it is that you do and what it is the team does.
Sure, Quinn. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, excellent. So I personally had the pleasure of working with Stacy. She is a top level, extremely professional, talented person and very good at what she does. And she's got some great ideas for our business community and initiatives that are being driven. Stacy, tell us a little bit about you, maybe some of your background, just so that we can get an idea of, who you are and how you became the CEO.
Yeah, sure. So I think first things first. I have two boys, and they are Will and Andrew, and they are 25 and 21. My husband and I moved to Colorado about 18 months ago for this job, and my boys are still in Georgia. One is in college down at Georgia Southern, which is near Savannah. And then my older son, Andrew, works for Salesforce, and he lives at the Atlanta Braves complex. So over there with all of the young people that like to go out and hang out and do fun things. So that's the main thing that I wanted to bring up. How I got started in chamber world was my husband and I have both been small business owners. I owned a wedding and event planning business when my kids were younger in school, and my husband owned an IT services business. So we kind of started those at the same time, which was probably not the smartest thing to do with a married couple. But so whenever we did that, though, we were trying to figure out, how do we get out? How do people get to know us? How do we get to meet people? And so I joined our local chamber of commerce because I really wanted to increase our visibility and just figure out how to connect with the community. So we did that probably for about 8 or 9 years or so. And then he sold his business and I sold my business. And I ended up working for an HVAC company and also for a catering company. And I was a member of a chamber. So I participated in events and programs and did some volunteer work. I was an ambassador for our chamber. So I kind of got to see it on the other side. Well, that chamber had a position opening in membership and events, and I applied. And so that was my first taste into working for a chamber. So if you think about it, I've been a member of a chamber, I was a volunteer at a chamber, and then I was now on staff. So getting connected with community and businesses, just really an important factor for us. We're outgoing, extroverted people that want to, just help build the community. So after I left that chamber, I went to work for another chamber in Georgia. It was a regional chamber that we covered 6 cities. So it was a larger 1,200 member chamber. So I worked there for 4 years and, was promoted up to vice president. I've actually attended the U.S. Chamber of Commerce IOM program. So I have an IOM designation. In the chamber world, we call that Chamber College. So it's a 4-year program where you learn how to run a nonprofit organization. So it was very helpful to learn about board of directors, financial, organizational, how to do a strategic plan, all of those things. So following that, I worked with my CEO and I said, I really want to be a CEO of a chamber. And she said, okay, let me help you and let's figure out how to do that. So I ended up applying for about 4 or 5 different positions. Castle Rock Chamber was one of those. They were doing a national search. And so with the national search, I was one of the candidates that was selected for several different interviews. Castle Rock is a great fit for my family. The city that we lived in mimics Castle Rock. Awesome. So it has a lot of the same types of businesses, a lot of the same population. So it just felt like a really good fit. So here we are. So I started about 18 months ago, And so getting to know the community and getting engaged with the members and understanding what's important, because every chamber is different. If you've seen one chamber, you've seen one chamber. They're all different. The people are different. Expectations are different. So it's really been important for me to get enmeshed with the community and to figure out what works and how the chamber can support the businesses.
Yeah, I love that, Stacy, because I hear so many times if you've seen this, you've seen them all. And it's yeah, it's so nice not to be put in a
Yeah.
box. So
Yeah.
that is awesome. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Um, I love this question that you ask potential chamber candidates. So I'm going to ask it to you.
Okay.
What's something that's not on your professional resume or portfolio that
Okay.
you think is important to know?
Yes, well, it's fun. So, and when it's interesting, because you learn a lot about people when you interview them and you ask this question because some of them will talk about their professional things that are not on their resume. Others talk about personal information that's not on their resumes. So, I would like to tell you a couple of personal things. So, one thing that's not on my resume is our family takes a vacation every year. So, the second week in July. We go to the same place every year. My entire family goes, my parents, my brother, my sister, all of their family. There's about 20 of us. And we visit the shark bite capital of the world. It is New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and they are known to have the most shark bites.
Wow.
So, and we've actually seen sharks there. So that's
Wow.
that's fun. Yeah.
Do
So
you go
something else
in
that's
you go in
oh,
the
go ahead.
water? You go in the water?
Well, sometimes I usually go up to about knee level because they're bull sharks, so
Okay, yeah,
they
yeah,
get
I've heard this
close.
about bull
Yeah,
sharks. Yeah.
yeah, so they get
Oh
close.
my gosh.
So actually, there was an incident where my niece and I were stalked by a shark.
Oh,
My brother came running down to the surf and is waving us in because we had gone out a little too far. And so I looked at her and I said, let's go. And so we ran back in, and you turn around and you could see the shark just kind of pacing behind us.
oh my
So,
goodness.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's not something you're going to likely forget.
I did not know that. Yes, and it's yeah. Oh my goodness.
So other things, I've been kissed by a camel in Turkey. I went with my mom to a Holy Land trip. So that was interesting. We rode the camel and then, photo ops with said camel. I've also been involved in a bank robbery when I was in college.
Wow.
Yeah. So a little bit of fun stuff there.
Yeah, and one thing I know about you is you're an incredibly courageous person. So these stories are just confirming that for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, there's probably a little bit of crazy mixed in there too.
It's a thin line. Yeah, between courageous and crazy. It can be a thin line. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You've shared your vision for the chamber, like kind of our next phase of
Mhm.
success, the way you see that for our community. I believe, and I share it all the time, I think everyone should hear that vision. And I just thought it'd be cool if they hear it from you.
Sure. So, my vision for the Castle Rock Chamber is that we are an essential strategy for your business success. So, what that means is the chamber offers so many different opportunities to be engaged, to professional development, leadership development, marketing, to learn more. Everybody joins a chamber for different reasons. Some people join the chamber because they want to meet people. Some people join because they want to, be able to volunteer at community events. Some people join just to, be connected and just to be known and be able for residents to be able to find them. So the chamber just needs to be one of those essential tools in your toolbox. So, and then you use it as needed for the situations that come up. And our team has so much experience. More than half of them have been small business owners themselves, or they've volunteered at chambers, or they've been members. So our team is just a great mix of experience. And so I really hope that our members are connecting with the team so they can find out more and, other unique opportunities to get engaged.
Yeah, yeah, the value of being a member. I can certainly attest to that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been a great help to my business for growth and
good.
everything. So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I've been sold now for a while. So
Okay.
yeah, it's
Tell
been
your friends.
yes, yes. I tell everybody, hey, maybe you should
Yeah.
go to the chamber. I'm
Yeah.
having trouble growing my business. Well, you should
Yeah.
join the chamber. Yeah. Um, I know in us working together, I've discovered that there's benefits. In the chamber for many business people in the community and even some of our members, like they may not know the benefits. What do you think are like some of the top strategic benefits that
Sure.
business owners get when they come into the chamber?
Sure. So I really think there's probably four. So you have marketing, you have people. How do you find people that work for you? How do you find top talent that's local? Networking, of course, chambers are known for networking events and also for community. Castle Rock is really big on community connection. And so the chamber has opportunities there. I can just start back at the top. A lot of our marketing opportunities are included as part of your membership. So this is something that you can take advantage just by connecting with us. So, I mean, we're talking about member spotlights that we send out in our emails and on social media, so those are easy to do. We do social media shares. So if you have something on your social media platforms, we can share that on ours as well to all of our followers. Going back to top talent, we want to keep Castle Rock residents in Castle Rock. So if you have job openings, we hope that you will post those on our job board so people can find those. Networking, of course, that's building relationships with others. Business Unwind is a great opportunity. It's an after hours event, great opportunity to find other businesses. I always like to think of partnerships too. Find good partners that you can work with, that you can collaborate with and, build your businesses together. And then, of course, community. So the chamber hosts 4 community events. So we have Wine Fest, the Douglas County Fair Parade, Art Fest, and Starlighting. So those are great opportunities to volunteer, to have a booth, to have a sponsorship there, just so you can be connected with the residents.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've been to some of those events and I've just found them to be really valuable and worthwhile. And also too, like I find there's an emotional value to a lot of these events is I think the average business owner sometimes is walking around feeling alone and and maybe not feeling courageous enough to be vulnerable to say, hey, I'm struggling or I'm having challenges. And I've found the chamber to be a place where you can be open and you can ask for help.
Sure.
Which I think is really key. And those 4 ways are definitely, I think, ways that help out. It's funny, I was thinking about them, and I think each one of them's touched my business in some way and brought value. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, we also talk about, because sometimes people think about going to networking events. Well, there's 100 people there and I don't know anybody, well, the chamber team, we have an ambassador team of volunteers that would love to connect you. And that's what we do. We can
Yeah.
introduce you to other people that would be great partners with your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, you can help people say, just start with hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What do you find what are the most common reasons that you think people might not feel that the chamber's of value to them? Like what are their common misconceptions or their thoughts about the chamber that wouldn't be accurate or probably not well-founded?
I think one of the biggest things is it's hard to put a measure and a price on relationship building.
Mhm.
So when we say membership is $750 a month, well, a year, what do I get for that? And it's hard to put, a value and a cost ROI straight to that. So whenever we talk about businesses joining the chamber, we like to encourage you to think of this as a 3-year investment. It takes that to get to know the community, to get to know other businesses, to get to know how you can partner, to get to know what's the best fit or what's some things that you've done that maybe I can do. So we really I really like to encourage new or prospective members to think about this as a 3-year investment because it does take time. People want to do business with people they know and trust. It's hard to get that in the first 3 months of
Yeah.
attending three events. So yeah, and another thing too is, and this just happened recently. We had I was speaking with a lady and she said, I went to this and I don't think it really fit. And then I went to this and it didn't really fit. And I said, well, with your business strategy and your marketing, you need to try to come to our professional development series. And she did. So she called me like the next day and she goes, I found my people.
Nice.
I think it's just important we always encourage you to try everything and then find your people, find where you fit, find where it's a good, connection, especially like with our leads generation group, we have 4 of those. Well, one of those may be a better fit than the other 3. So you just have to try them to see.
Yeah, yeah, I so agree. Like I'm in one of those.
Mhm.
So if you're out there watching, you should come visit because you just never know what will happen. And I love this idea too that you have to invest. That's my biggest thing. I start talking to people and I think, well, who are you? And why is your message valuable to me? And the big thing, which I think you're hitting on, Stacey, is can I trust you?
Mhm.
Can I trust that you'll take care of me and that you have the best intent for me,
Sure.
and vice versa. So yeah, that is very cool. What do you think is potentially why or what is potentially a mistake or something that might cause people to miss out on these great opportunities? Like what's the most common, it's a little different than saying what keeps them or what are their misconceptions. What do you think is the most common mindset among owners that keeps them from succeeding in the chamber?
I think we have kind of an unwritten rule here. It's show up and follow up. So if you show up and you meet some great people, but there's never the follow up and there's never the one-on-one coffee and there's never let's have a Zoom meeting. Let's introduce, your CFO to my CFO and all of those things. So I think if there's not that second step or that next connection, then I think you kind of lose your momentum. So I really like to encourage all of our members to do that, to take the time to do a 30-minute coffee, to do a 30-minute Zoom call. That's when you're trying to build a business. I think one of the other leaders in the community always says it's 1,000 cups of coffee. So if you have that mindset, then you're going to be more successful.
Yeah, yeah, that's really good. I know one of the things from having got the privilege to work with you and just be in the chamber is people think that it's a turnkey solution, like things are just going to magically happen. And there's a part of being provided that visibility that you've been talking about and provided that network. We have to engage in that network. Like we have to take the time to spend time with people. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Key question. How does somebody go about learning about the chamber, joining the chamber? What are steps? How do they get more info? What's the best way to do that? So if you're watching out there, pay attention to this. This is how you get started to kick off some success.
Yes. So the best way is to learn all about the chamber. Visit our website, www.castlerock.org. There's all of our programs, events. We have educational opportunities, leadership opportunities, networking. There is something for everyone. So the other way is to connect with one of our team members. You can also connect with one of our ambassadors. They are member businesses that they volunteer their time to connect and invest in new members. That's a great way to say, hey, what did you do? What can I do? So those are really the 3, key ways. The other way is pick up the phone and just call us. We'll meet you for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I promise you, if you stop by the chamber, you won't be disappointed. It has a great feel when you go in. You'll be welcomed. And these are really people who are passionate about making your business succeed in the community. So, Stacy, thank you so much for being on today. And I always have so much fun when we spend time together. And that I actually used your word, didn't even realize it. If you don't know about Stacy, she loves having fun. So she's about working hard and having fun, which is
Mhm.
awesome. And thank you for watching this. If you're out there, we just want to cheer you on. Keep at it. Keep doing the things necessary to succeed. We're all a team and we're fighting together. This has been another ioPSYte Business Highlight with Stacy Garman, the CEO of our Castle Rock Chamber of Commerce in Castle Rock, Colorado. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.